Coming up on this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we look back at the Falmouth Commodores' eventful season, we visit the Falmouth Police Department's National Night Out, we update you on the progress of the new water treatment facility, and Ryan Collins of MyFishingCapeCod brings us his local fishing report. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm Liz Lerner, the Membership and Outreach Coordinator for FCTV. The Falmouth Commodores had quite the eventful season this summer, securing the President's Cup for the best regular season record in the Cape Cod Baseball League, as well as winning the Western Division. The Doors won in the playoffs, only to lose 1-2 against Yarmouth Dennis in the final. Commodores intern Blake Bernard spoke with longtime coach Jeff Trundy about his thoughts on this remarkable season.
The Commodore season comes to a close here in Game 3 of the Cape League Championship Series. They lose to the Whitey Red Sox. Coach, it's a tough loss, but it's a remarkable season, a historical season. How are you, in the future going to look back on this 2016 summer?
I can't look back at it than any other way than feeling extremely proud of these young men. They were incredible. They were an incredible group. They really created a bond and became literally like Commodore brothers. They were just so much fun to be around, and as we've talked about before, no question they have talent, but it was so much more than that. They were just a special group that became so tight and so unified and so caring about each other, and that's what defines them. I mean, their character, their makeup, their, like I said, compassion for each other. I mean, that's off the charts, and I can't feel bad about them as a group. I couldn't even try, and they're really special.
So the kids are saying goodbye. Tears are flowing right now all around us as everyone's kind of saying their last goodbyes. But what did you say to the kids after in the post-game huddle?
I have trouble remembering stuff because a lot of times, to be honest with you, I just kind of speak on emotion. But, plain and simple, I told them I love them, and they're always going to have a piece of my heart. And I don't say those words lightly. So they just, like I said, I mean, you have a tendency, I think, as you go through life to have certain moments kind of flash back to you all the time. And I'm going to have a lot of very positive flashback moments out of this group. I mean, they're just what a just wonderful group of kids, and extremely special.
Congratulations to the Commodores, and thank you again to the broadcast interns for sharing those clips with us. In an effort to educate the public on the potential consideration of purchase of the Coonamessett Inn by the town, with the possibility of turning it into the new senior center, two Falmouth selectmen and town manager Julian Suso, among others, toured the inn with FCTV. Assessing the property, discussing how it could impact the election and fall town meeting, and possible additional other uses for the site. Adding to the list of 4 other potential locations for the senior center. The piece in its entirety will be on Government Channel 15 in the coming weeks. Keep an eye on our website, fctv.org, for the programming times. National Night Out, an annual community building event, was held on August 2nd this year at the Falmouth Police Department. FCTV's Jeff Wyman was there to cover all the fun.
Hi, I'm Chief Edward Dunn, Falmouth Police Department, and welcome to our open house / National Night Out, August 2nd, 2016. A fantastic event again this year. It's probably one of our largest events that we've had. Just looking around, it's going to be well over 200 people here who came to see their police department and celebrate a national event, National Night Out. We've got dunk tanks, cruisers, we've got the Sheriff's Department here with his boat, command center, and the greatest thing about it all is our police officers and the community itself get to mingle together. They get to meet their community, and they get to meet their police officers one-on-one. We have got officers actually cooking and serving food. We got an officer in the dunk tank. I haven't made it in this year. I was in there last year. The night's early, so if you want you know, there's always that chance you can come down and dunk the chief and not get in trouble. But again, it's just a great event to bring the community and the police department together, that partnership. And we get to share this partnership with other members of the town. The DPW's here, the fire department, like I said, the sheriff's here. And the kids get to play with the sirens too. So it's just a fun event. We've been doing it here at the police station for 5 years because prior to that we went to the different neighborhoods and it was getting smaller over the years. I don't know if people were losing interest. It was just commitment and time. So I know giving tours to the schools are always a big hit at the police department. So we decided to have it here at the police station, / open house national night out. I believe it's very successful. Enjoy hanging out with the kids. We got kids eating ice cream, and that's what it's all about, community. And if you come down next year, it'll be the same, and it's going to get bigger and better every year. So put it on your calendar, first Tuesday in August, 2017.
A longer piece on National Night Out and the Police Department Open House can be found on Government Channel 15. Find the channel's programming schedule at fctv.org. The Wacoit Bay Watershed Block Party was held on August 9th at the Wacoit Bay Reserve headquarters. Local organizations were in attendance, providing a variety of hands-on activities, all in the name of science.
We're here today to celebrate the Wacoit Bay Watershed Block Party. This is a great opportunity for families to come out and learn about what research is being done here in the Bay. We also invite local organizations to highlight what they're doing for the environment with research, with land conservation, conserving water. And it's a great family event for, there's lots of crafts, there's face painting, and there's free watermelon. So it's a lot of fun, and we do this once a year, and it's always great to see lots of folks come out and take advantage of the bay. Some of the research that we do here at the Wacoit Bay Reserve, we do a lot of water quality testing here in Wacoit Bay, and we take that information and translate it to students as well as professionals, so we can teach people what they're doing on the land, how their behavior affects the health of the coast and the bay.
I like the touch tank a lot because you get to feel all the little animals, and yeah, they're really cool because you don't normally see these animals.
My kids have been coming here for 10 years, and they come to the wonderful camps they have here each summer, and it's a great resource. They learn a lot about the bay and the ecosystem and the delicate balance that we have here between the tourists and the environment, and it's just a wonderful resource, and we want to come here each year and support them.
The new water treatment plant for the town is under construction and well on its way to completion. FCTV spoke with the Water Superintendent, Stephen Rafferty, regarding its progress.
Hello. We're at the site of the new water treatment plant for the town of Falmouth at Long Pond. My name's Steve Rafferty, and I'm the town's Water Superintendent. We are roughly 70% of the way through the project, and we're 70% complete. The project consists of a raw water pump station down on the shores of Long Pond that pumps water up to the building behind me. Over the last year, we've placed about 9,000 cubic yards of concrete. We're doing our last concrete pour this week. We've put up the building. We've put up the masonry block on the exterior. Hope you like the look of the building. We're hoping it lasts for as long as the old treatment plant, which is over 100 years. That's our intention. We're currently moving from the concrete and building phase of the job into the electrical and instrumentation phase of the job. Have a large group of electrical engineers working on the site, wiring up equipment, pulling wires, and getting ready to energize the plant. When the plant's completed, we'll be able to make upwards of 8 million gallons of water a day. As we make the clean water, we store it in an underground tank over here to my right, and we then pump that finished water up to the finished water tanks in town. The algae and anything we filter out of the water, we gather and discharge to a couple of large lagoons that'll be over on that side of the site, and that's allowed to dry out, and every couple of years we'll scrape up whatever we have and dispose of it as some form of a carbon resource, whether it's in Massachusetts or to one of our neighboring states that has a use for that type of carbon source. We're looking forward to bringing the plant online, testing and starting up over the holiday season, and we're hoping to be able to put water to the system as early as February of next year, at which time I think we're going to have the best quality water of any treatment plant in Massachusetts, if not all of New England. And I'm sure you're looking forward to it as much as I am. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you to FCTV's Jeff Wyman for that piece. It's time now for 3 Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
The Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals met to review a draft of an accessory apartment bylaw created by a subcommittee of the Planning Board.
Yeah, it's the accessory apartment bylaw. We're just focusing just on that tonight. That's the only thing on the agenda. And we want to work our way through it.
We agree there needs to be more housing production. We certainly recognize that's a goal of the town. And I know we sometimes come across as naysayers or, but I think we want smart development.
We have done a lot of research. We've talked to a lot of different towns, and we've got support from, the state Senate, just about every organization on Cape Cod, and they all say, get rid of the special permit. That's what we're trying to do. That is what we're getting. We're getting that from our experts. We're getting from our advocates. We're getting it from our real estate associations. Everybody is saying, get rid of the special permit side. And that's why we're doing it, because that's what we think is the way to go.
The goal of the bylaw is to promote creation of accessory apartments in the town of Falmouth, creating more affordable options of housing and encouraging people to age in place rather than downsizing their homes. After being denied the CPC funding to support a new housing coordinator position, the selectmen discussed using funding from the Falmouth Affordable Housing Fund to support the position until more stable funding can be made.
And I think that the housing needs are, pressing now, and that the attention is really warranted as quickly as possible. So I appreciate the idea of getting the housing element of the community coordination moving forward. And at the same time, I think that'll eventually give the person who takes that development position an advantage, because that element, the housing element, will already sort of be moving forward. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a good plan you put together.
In an effort to expand fiber optic service to all residents and businesses, Open Cape and the Board of Selectmen are urging residents to express their interest in the service through an online survey.
I just wanted to mention to all those who might be listening right now that Open Cape is doing a survey of those people who think they might like to have extraordinary bandwidth in terms of their internet service. So they're reaching out in a crowd sourcing technique to get people to respond and indicate their level of interest. It's essentially a market survey. And so they'd like people to go to www.opencape.org. That's www.opencape.org, and you'll find an opportunity to answer a survey as to what your level of interest would be. Their strategy is, if they can find pockets where they know a lot of people would sign up for it and be willing to pay, some premiums. There's no money estimated at this point. That those would be the first areas where they would probably install this kind of fiber optic internet access service.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out FCTV's website and click on the Government Channel 15 link at fctv.org. Once a month, we get to feature a local fishing report from Ryan Collins of MyFishingCapeCod. Here's his take on what's biting in the area.
They are biting.
The bass fishing off Cape Cod has been extremely productive the past several weeks. Here's some footage from my friend Zach of 2020 Sky Sight. Zach flies drones all around Cape Cod, focusing mostly on real estate, but a couple days ago I had him with me on my boat, and we were fishing within the confines of Cape Cod Bay. However, I do know there's some big fish down along the Elizabeth and at Cuddyhunk.
Oh, that might be the biggest of the year right here. Oh my goodness.
Live eels and tube and worm this time of the year
That's like 50 pounds.
has been the best for big fish.
Good God, look at that. Big school.
Also,
Big school pogies.
the Cape is seeing more adult pogies than arguably within the last 30 years. This footage was filmed off of Nauset Inlet.
Unbelievable amount of pogies.
And there have been bass, bluefish, and tuna feeding on these pogies. Now the surf casting has been very good as well. Whether you're fishing the canal or the Cape's boulder fields, there are some beautiful stripers hunting among the rocks, especially down throughout the Falmouth area. Nighttime is the right time, but you can get it done during the day.
About my 5th cast, maybe. 25-pound fish, maybe.
Again, live eels and swimming plugs like the redfin have been really good. High tide among the rocks is usually the best for me. Now, I also had the opportunity to fish out of Falmouth Harbor on the Patriot 2 for the George Keegan Memorial Fishing Tournament for kids. We had a very windy day, but we made the most of it. Nobska Lighthouse right there. And we wanted to fish the deep holes, the 70 to 80 foot depths off of the Elizabeth Islands, but it was just too windy. So we tucked into Hadley Harbor. And we had a blast drifting using squid on the bottom for scup. And this is a great species to target with kids. Constant action. And we also found some small sea bass, which you'll see in just a moment. But tight lines and good luck. And thank you, as always, Ryan from MyFishingCapeCod.com.
Thank you to Ryan for that great information. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at what the road race is all about. We'll learn more about Falmouth Town Band and feature member Marilyn Rowland's work on the Woods Hole Cantata Consort. Stay with us. If you live in town or even visited a few times before, it's likely you know about the Falmouth Road Race. It's been a huge part of the community for 43 years. In this next piece, we get a glimpse of its significance as we approach Road Race weekend.
Well, here at the Expo, we have a lot of sponsors and other exhibitors who are sampling their products or providing services, and it just creates an atmosphere for all the runners who have registered for the race. They're here to pick up their race bib number and their goodie bag. So it's just a great way to kick off the weekend for all the runners in terms of their level of excitement. And with all the exhibitors here and all the clinics that are going on, it's just it's a great weekend. This race, the New Balance Falmouth Road Race, really has it all.
In terms of road races across the country, there really isn't anything road race-wise better than the Falmouth Road Race. There's just so much history. It's such a classic course, and it's one of those races that comes to mind for anyone who thinks of road racing. They think this is kind of the pinnacle in the country.
Part of Spalding's mission is to advocate for improvement of quality of life for people with disabilities, and there's nothing that really speaks to that more than our adaptive sports commitments. And it's great to see people with all abilities, people in chairs, competing so well.
What really brings me back is that I really do enjoy this race. This course has all my fundamentals that I need to become a stronger and faster racer.
But it is a beautiful race. We love the course, and that people are so friendly out here. To us, it's almost like running the Boston Marathon because of all our fans out here.
The New Balance New Falmouth Road Race, I've been coming here since 2007, and the hospitality, the community, and the volunteers, and always a treasure to look forward to it. And obviously the course is great distance and a very scenic course and challenging, but at the same time fun. So I just enjoy being my time here in Cape Cod and Falmouth especially.
I ran my first Falmouth in '78, and I have to say the feeling is the same. I mean, I remember being on the starting line in '78, and and I'll go down there tomorrow and I'll have that same feeling that I had then. So yes, we've gotten a little bit bigger. We have a few more sponsors, but the feeling for me is the same. I mean, you run the course, the spectators are still out there cheering you on just like they did years ago. You know, in that respect, I don't feel a lot has changed.
Thank you to the Falmouth Road Race for sharing that piece with us. It's a long-standing tradition in town, the Thursday night concerts from Town Band. FCTV's Ryan Weber, who used to play in the band, brings us this piece on what they call the oldest town band in America.
The Falmouth Town Band is a group of musicians, volunteers, who start rehearsing the end of April, and the rehearsals end the end of June, and we do 10 concerts in the summer. This year we started June 30th and we end September 1st. There's been a band of musicians in Falmouth since the turn of the 1900s. We have musicians, we have scientists, we have nurses, we have school teachers, varied occupations are represented on stage, and we have young people from the age of 12 to the low 80s, young at heart, still playing away.
As a music educator, seeing people of all ages 10 to, I mean, there was a year we had someone 90 in here. Playing in the band, so I think this is great. There's a handful of people that music is part of their career in here, but most of the band is just normal people that love music, and that's what I love about Falmouth Town Band.
We came out here today to check out the band. We actually happened to drive by last week and threw down the window, and it sounded like they were playing really good music. And we do a lot. We go to a lot of these kinds of shows abroad, and so while we're in town, we thought we'd catch it here live in Cape Cod.
Town Band performs every Thursday evening in July and August at the Bandshell in Marina Park in Falmouth. All concerts are free of charge and open to the general public. On every episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'd like to feature member input. This episode, we'd like to share with you longtime member Marilyn Rowland's piece on the upcoming Woods Hole Cantata Consort.
I'm looking forward very much to the concert coming of the Woods Hole Cantata Consort. We'll be featuring music of the Royals. We've entitled the concert The Majesty of Music. So we'll be featuring a lot of pieces that have been used through history by the royal family and that the Royals have really brought to the public light. We will be doing music that was brought very much into the foreground by Queen Elizabeth's coronation, as well as music that was used at Prince Charles and Lady Diana's wedding. We will be featuring in a 12-piece chamber ensemble, as well as our accompanist Nancy Wendland on both organ and piano.
The music is spiritual and exciting, and it brings you back, connects you back into history and forward into eternity. You know, we have Handel and Vivaldi and Bird and just wonderful, all kinds of glorious music, and I'm just very much looking forward to it.
The Woods Hole Cantata has been part of the fabric of Woods Hole and of Falmouth for many, many years now. We're in our 43rd season. This is a fun thing to do. We invite you, if you're interested in singing, to join us next time round. We're always looking for good singers.
This concert is one that began more than 40 years ago, and it is really a marriage of science and art. It began with the scientific community and has grown, and it is now an important part of the community, and it's an important part of what goes on at this church. And the rector of this church, Reverend Warner, and the Church of the Messiah are so gracious in allowing us to rehearse and to use their space for performance, and they contribute to this blending of science and art, in this case music, and it's a wonderful thing. So I hope everyone in town will come and listen to the concert.
Thank you to Marilyn for sharing that piece with us. FCTV members are always welcome to submit their work to Falmouth in Focus, and becoming a member is simple. It's available to those who live, work, or attend school in Falmouth. More information is on our website at fctv.org. Just search About Us and click on the Membership tab. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Troy joins us for his take. Welcome back. This episode, Troy sits down with an author and photojournalist who set out to capture images that highlight the diversity of the state of Massachusetts.
Thanks, Liz. I am here at Queens Byway, one of the oldest continuous shopping centers here on Cape Cod. And I'm here to talk about one of the most important subjects, really, in today's dialogue, and that is immigration and the face of our community, the mosaic of our community. I met a man named Mark Chester who has dedicated the last several years of his life to telling that exact story. I call it the mosaic of Massachusetts. And you're really able to tell such an important and vibrant story through these photographs of people from well over 150 countries.
185 countries. So they're about maybe 300 to 400. I don't have an exact count yet. So they're men and women and families. And there's an index of the countries in the book. So it's about 180, 185. So I've been going all over. There are 351 towns in Massachusetts. And there are about 6 million people roughly. So 15% of the population is foreign born. And these are participants who are naturalized citizens. So the foreign born naturalized citizens.
So tell us about Brahma Samadhi.
I met him at his naturalization ceremony in Faneuil Hall. And I was looking for Guinea-Bissau. So in Africa, there's Guinea-Bissau, there's Guinea, and there's Equatorial Guinea. I'm learning so much about geography. I've always wanted to travel, so I've been traveling the world without leaving the state for the last 4 years.
That's great.
So I met him, and he said he's a student at Bridgewater State, and he said come by anytime. And so I came by at a time when we appointed the day, and I looked around campus and I just saw this particular science and mathematics. So it just appealed to me. I was looking for something architectural. And I don't think I could do this project in California because it's just too far, too big of a state.
You need an airplane, not a car.
I would need an airplane, right, and a very fast car. So Massachusetts is really quite manageable to do this kind of project. And it's so diverse, and I was asked, well, why do so many people come to Massachusetts? And I think it's because of the hospitals, I think it's because of the high-tech field, it's because of the universities, that it just begs people from all over the world to come.
So Mark Chester calls his work Noah's Mark. I call it a gift to all of us. That this gifted photojournalist would travel hundreds, thousands of miles throughout the Commonwealth to tell the story and to demonstrate the rich diversity, the rich cultural mosaic that is our Commonwealth and our community. The lesson that Mark teaches us, that while we may not all look the same, we may not all think the same, we are all the same. We're all linked together by a common bond, and that is being citizens of this great United States. So Mark deserves my thanks, our thanks, for really telling this story of the mosaic of Massachusetts. I am Falmouth Enterprise columnist Troy Clarkson, and that is my take. Back to you, Liz.
Thank you, Troy. We're always thrilled to see residents use their smartphones to record images around town, just like Troy did, and we want your input too. Become a part of Falmouth in Focus and send us your photos and videos to liz@fctv.org or use the hashtag MyFalmouth and Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We're going to end this episode with some aerial footage of the new water treatment plant that we featured earlier in the show. Thank you to the Methuen Company for sharing that with us. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.